Hi, I'm Logan Hickey.
And I'm Robertson Wickens, also known as the man of a million cartwheels, also known as Smitty Werbin Jagerman Jensen.
And this is Quick Call an Adult, the podcast where we source questions from our friends, families, loved ones, and listeners and answer them live for us and pre recorded for you on this lovely podcast. We want to make one special announcement before we get going. There is a fortuitous event of both of us being in the same place at the same time this Halloween. So, what we're going to do is Robertson and I are going to be recording a special bonus episode full of spooky and creepy content and questions that we will then post Halloween morning. Our questions have been sourced from my family, actually. We had made a post on our Facebook page, and three or four of my family members all were commenting Halloween related questions. So we're going to turn that into a bonus show.
Yeah, it's going to be spooky. It's going to be scary. There's going to be skeletons. You better get ready for it. We're having a slumber party. It's going to be lots of fun.
I can't wait. We'll even take some cute photos in our PJs.
I'm going to wear my puppy shorts.
We can take some promo photos for our eventual Instagram account.
Ooh, that's cute. I like it. I like it.
That could be fun. And I'm going to show Robertson a really scary movie, but he doesn't know it yet. Shh.
We're also going to play Phasmophobia, and I'm going to cry like a little child.
It is so much fun. Oh my god! But that I can talk about more when we talk about a question later in the show.
Ooh, true. I will say, when it comes down to a crisis, I zone in. I got it. If you need someone to watch your back, I am there for you. But if there's a freaking ghost in the room, I will squeal. I will cry. I will peace. I'm gonna listen to me here. If we are in a room together and a spooky specter comes up, I'm gonna start eating my favorite dish of spaghetti. Pass the fuck out. I'm gonna just be gone.
That was funny. I hated it, but that was funny. I didn't actually hate it. That was good.
Approval. Give me approval.
You're welcome. Gladly. Well,
so speaking of approval and getting shows on the road so that y'all can send us sweet little nothings. Question.
What?
I got a question for you.
I just was not expecting sweet little nothings.
Yeah, no, I just want anyone who sent us little messages or emails and stuff. We see your sweet little key little messages. Thank you. But anyway, Logan.
Uh-oh.
What is your best costume that you've had, or your best costume story? We got the Halloween month coming up. Everybody likes to do a little dressing up. Let's hear what you got.
I have two. One was for a show, one was for Halloween. So the show one, it was the last show I did at my high school. We did Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and I played Potiphar, and I got to wear these really tiny, like, old man shorts. I think of your stereotypical old man shorts where, like, the scrotum hangs out a little bit. They were like that level of shorts, with a black dress shirt, these like Elton John style glasses, and a sparkly cane. I was playing Potiphar. They had me enter from the back of the audience. I got to be my whole fabulous self. That was fun. That was probably my favorite show costume. But for Halloween, last year I made the outfit for the skeleton singer in Hocus Pocus.
Ooh.
He sings, he's like singing before Bette Midler takes the stage and does her I Put a Spell on You. Like, he's singing in the town hall dance. So I actually found all the different thingies, like parts of the costume, and put it all together, which was cool. Excuse me, big yawn.
It sounds, yeah, I can tell how cool you find it.
Right? It's so cool that I'm bored as hell.
You're bored as shit. I will say, in regards to Hocus Pocus, my sister does the best. I haven't seen this movie in a while. What's the like lead, the redhead one?
Bette Midler?
Yeah, so it is, yeah. My sister does the best cosplay of her. My sister also can do the best Trixie Mattel makeup that you've ever seen.
Love it.
It's but I'm gonna be honest, asking the costume question, I did have a moment there where I totally forgot we were both performers. So,
I perform?
but wait, what? What? So, yeah, I'll tag on to that. Like best performance costume. I was in a show. I will say, if any pirates are listening, I do love dressing up as a pirate. It is super fun. But on top of that, I was in a show where it was called Striker by Carly Churchill. Really fun show. And we all got to be demons. And one of my characters was a Kelpie, which is like the little water horse demon thing. And we did like a half human, half horse thing. And oh my God, that costume was so much fun. And we painted tattoos on me, and look at me now. It all started there.
You're like, I love the painted tattoos so much, I'm going to just do all the tattoos.
Yeah, I will say my best costume story though. I was very fortunate that I got to be a part of a show, and we got to go through the Maritimes, and it was a Halloween show, and we were touring and got to work with some of the most wonderful people. Still very close with them to this day, and yeah, dancing, having fun. And one day we were like, it's getting close to Halloween. We gotta, or I can't remember if it was just the day before or if it was Halloween. But we're like, we got to dress up and go out for dinner. But everywhere was closed. We're in Halifax, and we're like, one of the people said, oh, we just found this really cool restaurant. So we all dress up. I put on one of those floppy horse masks. Our tour director, he dressed up as he bought one of those like dollar store little ladybug girl costumes and wore a tutu. He was the cutest thing you ever did see.
That's so funny.
There was one person just in like fishnets and was like doing some Rocky Horror type thing. We were all like super dressed up. It was super fun. We get there. It's a 5-star restaurant. And we got seats in the upstairs lounge where we were the only people up there not wearing suits.
That's so funny.
And we've got a horse, a ladybug, Rocky Horror, a construction. Like we had one person I think wore a cow onesie. Like we were so out of place there.
That's so funny.
And so yeah, it's the best story I have. And I have little videos of us sitting there. Everyone's giving us dirty looks in their suits, and we're just sitting in our little costumes having the best night.
Aww.
Yeah, that's my best.
That's how Halloween should work.
That's a Halloween. And also the servers, they loved us so much because we were just little shits. And yeah, they gave us some nice little complimentary stuff. They were very nice to us.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah, had a nice little Halloween in Halifax.
I've never been to Halifax.
I quite enjoyed it. I will say it was an awesome opportunity. I loved being able to just drive around and get to go through the Maritimes, see things, eat good food, hang out with some really awesome people.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. In terms of traveling Canada, I've only been out of Ontario once, and that was to Montreal for my grade 8 grad trip. Yeah, grade 8 grad trip. And we stayed in Old Montreal, which was beautiful. I fell in love with Montreal, and I've never gone back. But eventually, because that takes time and money, and I don't have a lot of free either of that.
Don't speak French.
So eventually I'd like to go back to Montreal and visit. It's funny actually because I do have a small like anger with Montreal because like every time my brother goes to Montreal, it seems like something bad happens.
Oh no.
Yeah, like one time he almost got abducted from a gay bar. One time he definitely had some alcohol poisoning and went to the hospital. Like,
hey, remember that time? Remember that time I got it and called you barely conscious?
Yes, I mean, no shame. Sometimes we all party a little bit too hard, but my mom's effectively told my adult brother that he is not allowed to go to Montreal anymore, which is so funny. Too bad there's a lot of gigs in Montreal for performers.
Oh, true. Yeah. I've gotten very lucky that I've gotten to see quite a bit of Canada. I do want to see the rest of it though. It is something that is actually, it's on my bucket list. I want to see the rest of it because
me too.
Yeah, BC, Alberta, Maritimes.
I want to visit the Yukon.
I got a friend from the Yukon, and I wanna go over there.
Hello, Yukon.
Yukon, holla at us if you're from Yukon.
Robertson, you can't go there.
Oh,
Segue into my first question.
oh, you ignore it. Oh my god.
Okay. Which Star Wars trilogy is the best one and why?
Ooh. A
There
lot
is
of
a
people are gonna
correct answer.
a lot of people are gonna get mad at me for this answer.
Okay. Uh-oh.
I'm gonna say, and before y'all scream at your computers and like
Ah.
drop your hummus onto your stomachs, listen to me.
Hummus.
Episode 1 to 3. And hey, I know. But the reason I say that is because episode 1 to 3,
Blah.
hey, I'm gonna reach through this Discord's. We're not on Discord.
We're not on Discord.
Oh, well, then I can't do anything. Episode 1 to 3 is what made me discover and kind of fall in love with movement because of all the amazing stunt work they did.
Okay, yeah, the stunt works great.
So there is a place in my heart that is always like the first 3 episodes with the like, yeah, just all of the stunt work they did. It really got me into, and I feel like was what started my journey into parkour, which got me into dance, which got me into more stunt stuff. And it just like the very little I do, but it's just, it inspired me so much, especially like all the Darth Maul stuff. Like that man inspired me so much to start learning how to do tricks. So there is a big place in my heart for the first 3.
Yeah, okay. So I have to say the original trilogy because, in terms of continuity sake, that is the one that is the least disrupted. And what I mean by that is, there was such backlash to what's it majigget Jar Jar Binks that they
Yeah.
did a complete rewrite of episodes 2 and 3, which is why Count Dooku seems very out of place because he was basically a last minute addition to the canon because they had to do significant rewrites due to the backlash of Jar Jar because
Jar Jar's Palpatine.
the prevailing theory is that there was supposed to be a larger entity that is essentially Darth Jar Jar was basically um, the thing. It was basically Darth Jar Jar. So,
Just doesn't sound right.
well, because what it was supposed to be, at least this is the fan theory that has been substantiated to a certain degree, because the second one was a title. I just read an article about it this morning. It was like the Adventure of Jar Jar or something Jar Jar. It was supposed to be heavily involving Jar Jar.
Mm.
So what ended up happening was that, or the theory at least, is that Jar Jar studied a version of the force that is very close because all the force styles are relating to like kung fu styles and karate styles. So uh, they believe that he was supposed to be like Drunken Fist. Like Drunken Fist Kung Fu using body weight. And like if you ever watch a video of Drunken Fist Kung Fu and they actually compare scenes from the first episode with Drunken Fist Kung Fu movements, if you ever seen Drunken Fist Kung Fu, the whole point is you look like you're drunk. That's not the whole point, but you use your opponent's own momentum against them and kind of fake them out to a degree, looking like a bumbling idiot, which puts very heavily into Jar Jar. Like there's a scene where Jar Jar's got a droid attached to his foot and ends up killing a whole bunch of people or a whole bunch of droids with shots from the dying droid on his foot while stumbling around looking like an idiot. As well as he is the only alien or other being in the Star Wars canon in anything we've seen who can jump as high as a Force user, which we see when he jumps into the air and dives into the lagoon in Naboo, on Naboo. Additionally, in the second and third episodes, like right before Palpatine gets power, you actually see, and I firmly believe this is a small hint, Jar Jar gestures with his hands, which, like any Force user would know, before Jedi and Sith users manipulate some people's brains, they use hand gestures. Just think of like these are not the droids you're looking for. So
Yeah.
there's the prevailing theory that he's actually the sort of master, the Sith mastermind overarching all three trilogies, and that they would have been introduced instead of, and spoiler alert, instead of a clone of Sidious and Snoke in the most recent uh, trilogy. So, and the problem with the most recent trilogy in terms of writing, so, and sorry, this has been a bit of a ramble. Welcome to my TED Talk on Star Wars, was that they got rid of, for whatever reason, I can't remember why the director couldn't come back to the second of the three movies, but I believe they had a good reason. I think it was J.J. Abrams, I think. But I believe they were filming something else at the time. So the second script, the second movie, got completely rewritten, completely rejigged. Not every single detail, but a huge rewrite happened. That then the reason why the third movie kind of sucked and felt like a nonstop beating us in the face with random things was because they had to make up for all the inconsistencies that the second movie made. Essentially, J.J. Abrams, and I could be wrong about the director, but I'm pretty sure it was Abrams, wrote three scripts, or wrote the first script and wrote the story arc for the second script and the third script. And then the new director came in and went, rewrite it. So we got a very slow and boring second movie that had things that don't exist anywhere in the Star Wars universe, like books. Never in the Star Wars universe are there books. You have ancient
Who
Jedi
read?
and Sith lore, they're in holocrons.
I think we should have just had a giant reveal where Jar Jar just comes out of nowhere and just like epic fight scene, like Star Wars Episode 9, Return of the Jar Jar.
Right?
But yeah, no, I will say, like, once again, like, place in my heart, the first three, wonderful, like, stunt stuff. But I'll agree with you. The it was the original three, so like the Mark Hamill, fucking all those. Those are story wise, those are dope. You can't go wrong with those. So I
Mm.
agree. But yeah, the last three are just like I've only watched two of the most recent ones, but yeah, I'm like, what the heck? What's going on? I'm so confused.
Interesting. Yeah, yeah, fair. I watched the third episode in the new trilogy and I just went, because there's, and I'm somebody who knows a lot of Star Wars lore, and I was confused because I was like, there's so much happening.
I'm just always confused in my life. So if I watch something like that, it does a number on me.
Fair. I mean, don't get me wrong. I really liked the big reveal with Sidious and stuff in the third of the new trilogy.
Wait, they revealed that it was part of Insidious?
Yeah, 100%. It's a ghost movie.
Oh my god.
Segue, your
Segway,
question.
spooky, scary skeletons. This is gonna send shivers down your spine.
Whenever I hear the word spooky in my head, I go spooky Mormon hell dream from Book of Mormon.
It's a good. I think it's obvious. I do spooky, scary skeletons.
Spooky
Which
Mormon hell dream.
I will say, I'm about to ruin all of your lives. We've never actually heard the Monster Mash. It's just because the Monster Mash we know is a song about a song called the Monster Mash. It was a graveyard smash. They did the Monster Mash, but we don't know what the Monster Mash is.
When Robertson told me this the other day, and it just shook my world.
I told it to my students, and they all hated me.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, which side do you stand on, vampire or werewolf? The
Vampire.
age-old. Oh, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be.
Always vampire. I used to
Why?
fantasize about it as a kid.
Oh, interesting. What makes you say such a thing?
Well, I would. It's funny. Little bit of background into it. I actually would play vampire versus werewolf, basically playing imaginary games as a kid with a childhood friend of mine, um, who ended up moving away when we were little. But I can remember very vividly playing vampires and werewolves. He always wanted to be a vampire or a werewolf. I always wanted to be a vampire. Um,
Classic.
but for a couple of reasons, I like the idea of shapeshifting.
Mm,
I don't like the idea of drinking blood, but as a vampire, it would taste good. It wouldn't taste like as a human does. But I
yeah,
would want to be,
basic lollipops.
yeah, I would want to be a vampire that is not like Dracula vampire. Like I have always loved sort of paranormal Dracula and vampires and werewolves and Frankenstein and all that shit. Um, but there was a book series I read, and this is gonna I'm plugging one of my favorite authors who also happens to be a Canadian, and I'm pretty sure lives in Ontario. Her
Ooh.
name's Kelly Armstrong. She has a 12-part book series called Women of the Other World, as well as I think it's 5 collections of novellas she wrote about it, as well as she's got online only stories as well. Very expansive universe, spans about 20 years in the world of features in all her books. They are around strong female characters, every single one, which I'm a
Oh, nice.
huge fan of. And you know what? It's an adult book, so there are some a little bit more racy scenes. It's not overly explicit, but they do kind of give you a little tingle. Um,
Ooh.
and the way they're written, it's so much more sensual than when a man writes a sex scene,
A tingle in the dingle.
and I loved it. But
Just ignored
that's
what I said.
I'm just moving right past that. Um, and so the vampires in her universe, they're not immortal. They can't necessarily mind control, but they do have power of sort of persuasion and suggestion. Um, they only have to kill once a year, but they do have to feed more frequently than that. But once a year, around the anniversary of their death, they have to take a life. And that is the price basically to live another year. And they can
Mm.
live to be about 500 or so years old before they die. And that's like old for a vampire. And they can come out whenever they want. They can eat minimal food, but they can drink whatever they want. Um, and they are incredibly hard to kill. The only confirmed way of knowing how to kill them is to cut off their head entirely. So they're very
All right.
durable, but they're not immortal. And see, and that I'm okay. I'd be okay with. I wouldn't. I'd like because I like the sun. I don't mind not sleeping. I wouldn't mind not sleeping or sleeping, like depending on the lore. Like if you go by Twilight, they don't have a sleeping. They just are 24/7, always awake.
They don't have us sleeping.
They don't have a sleeping, and I wouldn't want
Ah,
to sparkle.
what's wrong with sparkling?
And it makes it hard to go out in the daytime.
But but then everyone's like, "Wow, you're just absolutely, you're positively glowing, darling." And I'm like, "Yes, I know, I
I've,
sparkle."
I'm already sparkly. I'm gay as fuck.
I don't know. I gotta say, werewolf,
Why is
because
that?
it just, I don't know. Well, okay, here's the thing. Uh, if it's the type, once again, specific type, which everyone's gonna be like, you don't get to decide. And to them, I say, fucking, it's my hypothetical. Go eat a nice meal and think about the mistakes you've made. So, but if I could control how I am as the werewolf, that would be sick. Also, think you've got like heightened senses. You're stronger, you're more durable and stuff, and plus you can transform into a giant wolf man. That's pretty sick.
Right?
If you're late for school, freaking wolf reflexes. You go to town. If you gotta sniff out those deals, you can do it because you got dog nose.
Yep. Yeah, that's funny. Well, actually, you'd probably like the werewolves in the series that I just talked about because they can shift whenever they want. They only get antsy if they haven't turned in a while. Has
Mm.
nothing to do with the moon. They've got a slightly longer life. Like they can live till I think they look like they're in their 50s when they're 100 type thing. They just have slow aging. They're not immortal. Um, and yeah, they can shift around whenever they want, and they're not some like weird wolf human hybrid. They're actually like just they're a big wolf, which is kind of
Ooh.
cool. Um, that's something that I think I would love to do. Yeah, either werewolves or vampires, but not like your Dracula or the Wolfman type original.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Variation on the theme.
Yeah. I don't know. It'd be shape. Oh wow. Shift is pretty cool.
Shape-shifting.
Shape shifting.
Shape-shitting.
Sh- oh my god. I'm
Ship-shitting.
you brought back something that I
Uh-oh.
gotta talk about. I accidentally swore in front of my students the other day. I had a perfect
No.
record. And it was I have 3 groups, got the youngest, middle, and oldest. Guess which one I swore in front of?
The youngest?
The goddamn youngest. They all gasped and they looked at me like I just literally like football kicked a toddler across a football field. Like it was they looked at me like I just destroyed all of their faith. I literally only said because I was trying to say I'm not because I was talking about how like using your time properly, and I was saying I'm not just gonna sit around and talk if I've been given time, but I was very tired, and so I accidentally said I'm not just gonna shit down and then I covered my mouth, and they all gasped and pointed at me, and I was like, oh no, I've done it.
That's
I've
so
sworn in
funny.
front of children. Took me this long though for them to hear me do it because
I've
I've
definitely accidentally sworn in front of kids many times. Many times.
I'm just I got enough of the like well I mean like even in real life you can attest that I've got enough funny ways of swearing that I find it more fun to not swear and say those things than actually swear, but it just came out.
Sometimes, though, no word is as good as fuck.
That is true,
There's a
but I
crispness
used
to
it on shit. There's so many better words I could have said. I mean, okay, this is not me saying that I'm going to start swearing in front of children.
it. Oh, here's a bonus question that just popped into my head.
Ooh,
Genuinely curious. What is the funniest, like, fake swear you've ever heard in a movie? For me, it's really easy to pick out because it's the moment in Madagascar where Marty, the zebra, is being chased by Alex the lion, and he goes, "Oh, sugar honey iced tea," in slow
Alex.
motion and
Yeah.
spells out shit. And I was like, "Damn, I missed that as a kid."
Oh, that's funny. Um, definitely. I'm sick and tired of these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
Where was that?
That's the cleaner version of or that I can't remember what the
Snakes on a
story is, but that's
plane.
on a plane and there was like I think there was too much swearing or something, or is like I don't know, they filmed a scene where he didn't swear in it and that's what he said.
Monday to Friday plane. That is
Monkey fighting snakes on a Monday to Friday plane. That's
that
what it is.
that is a great segue into my next question.
You're gonna talk about snakes on a plane?
No, I'm going to talk about more vampires and werewolves, so it's not actually a segue, really.
Reptiles on a train?
The reptiles on a train. That's the off-brand snakes on a plane. Um, so mine is still in the realm of vampires and werewolves, but it's Twilight related. This question came across my radar, and I just had to include it. A little bit of context. I had to explain to Robertson earlier, just a
Yes.
little bit of background, and I'm going
I'm
to
a simple.
give you guys a bit of background too. So the question is, if Jacob was in love with Bella because of Renesmee, why wasn't he also in love with Edward? This is important. I need answers. So, for those who don't know, Renesmee is the daughter of Edward and Bella, a vampire and a human. The fourth book greatly revolves around the story of they get married. They're on their honeymoon. Edward accidentally knocks her up because he does not think vampires can procreate with humans, and and they come back to their little town, and there's a whole bunch of drama from it. How werewolves work in this world that Stephanie Meyer has created um, is that a werewolf can imprint. Now, what imprinting is there's a human in their life that then becomes the center of all their focus, basically the center of their being. The way it's described in the book is it's like if gravity is no longer holding them down, but that person is. And how imprinting essentially works is it doesn't matter how old the person is, they get sort of bound to that person. Not in a creepy way, and they make it very clear it's not creepy in the book. So it essentially means that the werewolf is whatever the child or adult needs. So if it's a baby, the werewolf is its protector, its best friend, its older brother. And then as an adult, if the child who is now the adult, the imprinted upon person, loves the werewolf romantically, they become romantic partners because a werewolf does not age as long as they're werewolves. That's a little quick summation. So basically, Stephanie Meyer, her big sort of thing is that Edward's in love, or Edward and Jacob are both in love with Bella, but Jacob's in love with Bella because Bella is Bella and Edward's baby is who he is meant to imprint on. Which means then, why isn't he equally in love with Edward? Because without Edward, there'd be no Renesmee. And if that logic says that Jacob is in love with Bella because Bella's going to have Renesmee, that stands to reason that Jacob should be in love with Edward because without Edward, there'd be no Renesmee.
Can I just say a side note quickly? What a fucking cop out. That's like the couple's like, they're like, we should name her Renee, and the other one's like, we should name her Esme, and it's like, oh, we can't make a decision. Smash the names together. Yeah, let's do it, Renesmee. It's like, fucking. That's like, oh my god. If y'all don't watch Nakey Jakey, you should. He's an amazing YouTuber, but he came up with a name, Jabeki, and I think that's fucking hilarious. Jabecca, or as her friends call her, Jabeki. Same thing. It's just like you can't decide on names, so you're like, oh, let's just smash them together. Kid'll be fine. Come on.
Well, and even like the Jacob is at one point, and it's the worst, one of the like funniest acted and like not a great acting moment, but hilarious moments in Twilight movie in the second one, because Jacob starts calling Renesmee Nessie. And Kristen Bell as Bella goes, "You name my daughter after the Loch Ness monster?" And she's just like super angry, and it's the funniest fucking line in the whole series.
That's funny.
It's great.
Can I name my child Ogopogo?
Yes.
Oh no, I'm gonna just name my child Bigfoot. There we go. Sasquatch.
Hi, I'm BF. What's that short for? Bigfoot.
No, I'm gonna be like, you can't go BF.
And I'm from Israel. Badoom chuck.
Squatch. Oh, full circle. Oh my god.
This is actually the last episode, and we just did a full circle.
I'm going to go to Israel, find a beautiful lassie, and we shall spawn a child named Bigfoot, and we will call her Squatch, and there will be my child.
He'll get fined for child abuse.
I will get, yeah, probably.
Naming your child Squatch, like you're just setting that child up for decades of bullying.
I'm gonna have twins. One of them name is Sass, and the other one's Squatch.
Good lord, Sass got the better end of the deal. But back to this.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Edward Jacob thing. Honestly, I think I had never thought of it that way. And when this question got asked, I was like, holy shit. And you know what? It could just simply be that in Stephanie Meyer's world, she is a cisgendered, straight white woman who knows how to write about male-female relationships. Like, my opinion of her is that she's a little narrow-minded from what I've learned about her. Because when it came down to filming the movie, she was, I'm going to say, a little racist, because she refused to allow any of the main characters to be cast as anything but white. She was very, very adamant and pushy on that. And the only characters who she allowed to be other races were Bella's friends, and one of the bad guys was allowed to be black, Laurent. She refused to allow any of the main characters to be of another race, other than, of course, the werewolves, because their shape shifting is widely based on their native culture. But that doesn't excuse the fact that when it came to filming, she like aggressively fought against having any of them cast as anything but white, including Bella. So personally, I think it was probably her narrow, and I don't know her personally, so this could be a poor judgment on my part. But from everything I've read, this is what I'm basing it off of. But to me, she comes across as a little bit narrow-minded. So perhaps within her own worldview, which is seems somewhat limited, we'll say, put it politely. That's what she wrote about, and I don't think she probably considered that other undertone. And wouldn't that have been so much more interesting as a character choice if there was that underlying tension?
I'm gonna say, how do we know there wasn't? We don't know what happened when the camera wasn't trained on them. They could be giving little winks to each other, little smoochy faces at each other. There is I haven't seen the movies. I only read the first book when I was in junior high. I don't know if they were holding hands in every scene that they were in. It could have just been a detail. What if this is us putting it on them? What if like if they were real and in every single scene they were holding hands and people are like holding the hands. People are like, hey, why aren't you guys imprinted on each other? It's like, oh, we just didn't think it was important to say that we're holding hands. Why is it a big deal that we're holding hands? So we don't know. Maybe the two of them maybe they snuggle on a Sunday. We don't know.
It would be very interesting. I'm sure there's a gay porn about it somewhere.
There's literally, I'm trying to think of what I'm allowed to say here.
What's the rule? It's like there's a
Rule 34.
That's it. Where if you think if it's out there, it probably is porn or something like that.
Oh, 100%. God, they've got like fucking comics about Sora's big feet out there. Like there's something for it.
I'm not going to go into details about it because I watched about the first 2 minutes of it and turned it off because I was so uncomfortable. But there's a one out there. I'm just going to say the name of it. And like, if you look it up, it's totally on you, called Strokemon.
Oh my God.
That's all I'm going to say.
Frenzy noise there.
It is terrifying. And I'm not going to say any more on that front. In fact, Swagway.
I just want to say quickly, there's also, if you watch the Internet Historians live streams,
oh no,
there's a where he's incredible, like top tier streamer. Which apparently, speaking of that, I read an article that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez streamed on Twitch and broke records and was the third largest stream of all time when she played Among Us. AOC. Apparently, hilarious. But anyway. He was doing Detroit Become Human, and there's this big reveal of a painting, and he edited it in quickly, and they do the big reveal, and it's Mario and Sonic making out, and then everyone just goes like, my God, it's beautiful.
That's so funny.
But yeah, sorry. Question. Sorry, I've got a notepad, and I have this problem in class that I don't understand my own writing. Yeah, I don't understand my own writing. One of my students was like, can you show me your notes? I'm like, you don't want to see those.
You're like, you can't read them.
They were like, please. I showed them for literally 5 seconds. They're like, yeah, I never want to read that again. I was like, yeah. Not that I write anything bad. It's just like, I write in the way my brain works, which is, I'm confused all the time.
So your writing's confused.
So it's like, my dance choreo is literally like, clap, triple turn, double dream hands, do the floppy leg thing, clap your hands like a toddler. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Love it.
I had one, what was it? Oh, it was the longing walk. I know what that means. Nobody else is going to know what that means. Okay. Would you rather go trick-or-treating or stay at home and scare people?
Stay at home and scare people.
Oh, yeah.
Just fun, because you still get to dress up, and like, I'm not a big candy person, so that's sort of a big determining factor for me. Not like I would ever discourage trick-or-treating. I think trick-or-treating was a lot of fun. But yeah. I would rather be the spooky person.
Yeah, I would totally agree. When I was still living at home in the Great Plains of Alberta, me papa and I would sit outside. I lived near the river valley, so it was like one side of the road was our house, and then the other side was the river valley. So my dad would hide in the trees, and he would have a mask on. He would have a big jacket. Like, he was just a big, imposing man with an axe, and he would walk across the road really slowly, dragging the axe. And I would be sitting in a chair on our lawn amidst all the other decorations. So I looked fake. And so my dad would come out and scare them, and everyone would think, okay, one scare, that's it. But I would be sitting there, and I would, like, depending on if the kids noticed me, I would like walk up behind them at the door. They'd turn around and lose their minds. Or I would like sprint at them if they were older. Like, oh, it was so much fun.
That's funny.
Oh, we would sit out there for hours. And then it was great. And then my mom would, so my dad would be in that costume. I would be like this demon. And my mom does this amazing thing where she looks like, the like old stereotypical witches.
Mm-hmm.
She just looks like that regularly. So she would scare the kids herself.
Your poor mother.
Love you, mama. Oh, she's gonna. I bet you anything, she's gonna be wiping tears, like rolling on the floor when she hears that.
You're gonna get a very angry phone call. Either or.
I get angry. See, this is the thing that people don't realize. I get angry phone calls if I'm too nice to them.
That's funny.
The first episode where I was like, "Thank you, family, for the support and stuff like that." My mom called me, and I think I've said this before. She's like, "Are you mad at us? You were complimenting us. What's wrong?"
That's funny.
I just realized that doesn't
really
help my
funny.
case. That makes me sound like a bigger dick that my family is confused when I'm nice to them.
Yeah, no, that just paints you in a horrible light.
It does. My family has this wonderful relationship where we like to make fun of each other because it keeps us honest.
Well, speaking of childhood stuff, actual real segue here
Hey,
into
yo, whoa.
I believe our last question.
Mm-hmm.
What were the best childhood games? Example: Webkins, Pop Tropica, Neopets. So the way they phrased it, I say, what is the best childhood internet games? We'll call it.
Mm. I will say, like, honestly, being on. I started. Okay, here we go. Started on. We all did the same routine, like starting on Newgrounds, going to Mini Clip, going to Congregate, but like the online game that I played, I was never really, and never really have been an online gamer too much. Like now as an adult, of course, I do the standards like Dead by Daylight, For Honor, and Star Wars Battlefront, like of course. But the like kind of online game that I played, we all did it. I played the RuneScapes.
Mm-hmm.
I made like 12 characters, and I don't think I ever got to level 20 with. I had this thing where I could never get to level 20 with anyone. I would just always get bored. But RuneScape, I was the one that I tried multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
So
For
I gotta
me,
say, for me, is the big childhood game.
I would say RuneScape as well was a big one for me. I played quite a bit, not as much as some of my friends, but
Oh,
RuneScape and Neopets. Neopets was great. But RuneScape and Neopets turned into World of Warcraft for me. I've been playing
mm,
on and off. Like I don't play right now, but periodically I will re-download and get the latest expansions or whatever. Excuse me, big yawning. I must be tired today.
you need some
Um, apparently,
energy drinks.
ew, God no, it brought your stomach.
Yeah,
The energy drinks were responsible for my acid reflux for like a year or two. But
they were also for that one episode where I just about lost my mind.
that is also true.
Or wait, no, we scrapped that because I couldn't keep it together, didn't we?
No, I'm pretty sure we did it. Oh no, that was when we had to re-record, I think.
Uh,
But
oh yeah, because I couldn't keep it together. Like 4 energy drinks in me.
but yeah, I'd say World of Warcraft is my biggest sort of like childhood game because that's been out for a while, and I've been playing since I want to say the end of Burning Crusade, which is the first expansion, and I played the full of Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, skipped Pandaria. Yeah, so that's one and it's one that I will consistently like return to over time because
Mm.
I don't even want to look at how many hours I've put into WoW. There's a way you can. I'm not going to.
Oh no! Oh my god! I just had a brain blast.
Okay, Jimmy Neutron, what was it?
So, cause like I was thinking like, oh, Maple Story, RuneScape. Like I did play Perfect World for a while, but there was one that my brother and I played so much. It's called Tremulous.
Never heard of it.
It was like early. Oh my god! This is a blast to the past right here. I've gone back to the future. That doesn't work in this scenario. But it's like one side's the military and the other side is the aliens, and everyone starts out as like just a regular assault soldier, and on the one side, and then on the other side you're like these little crawly face hugger things or builders. You build
Ew.
up your base, build up the defenses, and you try to get enough kills to level up to become either stronger, bigger aliens or more powerful soldiers. And oh my god, my brother and I played that so much. Good memories. Sorry, I haven't thought about this in a while. And yeah, because I tried like Savage and all those ones of like I loved the Tower to, or like the base defense. One side is kind of like monsters or creatures, one side's humans. But it was tremulous. Ooh, my bro and I, we played that so much.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah. Wipes tear away. The nostalgia.
I love it though. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us to the end of this fun episode. I had a name picked out from the very beginning, something we said. Whoop, dropped my phone. Something we said, and I can't remember what it was. We made a comment on it.
Hello?
It was hello. This episode is now called Hello.
Hello? My name is
Elder Price, and I would like to share with you the most amazing book.
It's called the Encyclopedia Britannica. It's actually got a lot of information in it. If you want to pick it up sometime, you could probably learn a thing or two.
Tune in for if you like what you hear, or just think we're crazy and want to listen to us slowly unravel, please follow us on Facebook. The page is Quick Call an Adult, or you could send us an email at quick.callanadult@gmail.com with any questions that you have that you would like answered. And don't forget to get excited as we get closer to Halloween, because we will be having our bonus Halloween episode.
Ooh.
Spooky.
So give us a like, give us a follow, give us your attention, give us your time.
Give us your credit card information.
Give us your credit card information. Dox yourselves on all of our platforms. And have yourselves a fine day, looking as fine as you do right now.
And a Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Bye.
Toodles.